thought what I'd do here for our guest today was do a top 10 list. These would be the top 10 things that you may or may not know about my brother Paul. When Paul was 3 years old, my mother had found him in his snowsuit with paint all over the front of him. It had turned out that he had wandered next door and painted half the neighbor's car there with house paint. Number 2, when Paul was 10 years old, he was at a baseball diamond and hit on the on-deck circle from a guy swinging full force, 2 bats in his hand. He always hit them out. Paul had lost his 3 front teeth permanently and had received 35 stitches in both his lip and his gum that day. Number 3, Paul was an altar boy. When you let that sink in. Number 4, the average IQ of an American is 70 to 130. My brother Paul had an IQ of 160, which had always led my father to all kinds of frustration, other than Paul's antics, and sometimes Paul's antics. My father always believed that Paul could have been anything he wanted to be. Number 5, Paul was an excellent athlete. He was a very good golfer. He was an excellent bowler. And at the age of 17, Paul could dunk a basketball. I'm just kidding about the basketball. Paul was the only person from Rochester, New York, after a long winter that could go down south on vacation in suntan wearing baby oil. Number 7, we were at a wrestling match in 1970 at Aquinas Stadium, Rochester, New York, and Paul had to be restrained by his then fiancée, Ronnie, because he had volunteered to wrestle a 700-pound grizzly bear. Number 8, Paul's first job was at Gerber Baby Food. First as a tester, and then as a line person. Number 9, if you were in Denver, Colorado in 1969 and had stopped at an ice cream truck to get an ice cream cone, you probably had bought it from my brother Paul. And number 10, when we were younger and growing up in the house, we had all given each other nicknames. And we each loathed our own nickname, and that's why they stuck. My sister was Gritchy Witchy. Dave was Bucky Wucky. I was Teeny Weeny. And Paul was Fuzzy Wuzzy. In trying to prepare something for today, I spent several days trying to put together something that would be comprehensive to talk about my brother. And in frustration, nothing was coming, and then I realized what I wanted to say was right in front of me. So I'd like to share a poem that our sister Sue wrote for my brother Paul. There is a hole in my heart that will never mend. Paul Edward Fearley was my brother and my friend. Annoying, funny, headstrong, a big softy, that's true. He'd get choked up when I tell him, I love you. Earmuffs, we said to his nephews and nieces. Meanwhile, the adults were laughing to pieces. The best story I will ever know. I'll miss his phone calls that never began with hello. He made sandwiches from my children's arms. Niagara Falls made them scream, worked like a charm. He loved being with family, that was so true. My kids are going to miss their Uncle Foo-Foo. We went on a family cruise. He had a blast. The memory of Paul and Mark dancing still makes me laugh. So wherever he is now, thank God he's pain-free. I'll miss that old man, and now we are through.